Good evening and welcome to the Seminole Pro Tour. This is the Steve Miserak Championship. We're here in Holiday, Florida at Hammerhead Billiard Lounge. Here to watch Brandon Shuff take on Justin Hall. This is a one-loss side in this $50,000 added event. I'm J.R. Calvert with Inside Pool. Joining me here in the booth is Jonathan Demet. Jonathan, welcome.
Hello all. Thank you for that nice warm welcome. How have you been?
Pretty good. How about you?
Terrific. Terrific. Watching some great pool matches.
Playing some great pool matches too, from what I hear. How you hitting them?
Off and on. I'm hitting them okay. You know,
Yeah.
depends on how much practice I get in and how steady I get to play every day.
Right.
Versus work.
How willing your opponents are to miss a ball or two for you.
That helps. Yes.
I like to find opponents that know how to miss.
It's even more fun when you earn it and you just don't miss, but it's harder to do than it is to say.
Well, you know, the idea of playing great pool, everybody loves it. You want to be in that dream world where it doesn't matter who you're playing, you know, and I'm just playing the table and I'm going to run out every time I'm at the table, but that doesn't happen. You know, that's something that a lot of people don't realize is that you can watch a player play 10, 20 games of pool and he might not miss, and then the next 3 games he could miss each shot.
Right.
And it happens. So
But it's still good to have that, to live in that dream world. I think that's a positive world to be in, and
you got to go for it, man.
might help you not miss for longer periods of time.
That's the way to do it. You go for it.
If you don't believe in yourself.
Well, it looks like Brandon has a pretty nasty looking little shot here already just out of the gate. What do you see here?
Nothing's too tied up. I mean, whoever gets control of the table is going to be in pretty good position to run out. He's really just got to make a hit or play a push. He's probably going to push out instead of taking the risk of getting a foul on the first shot. He might make a good push out to a kick safe, you know, instead of letting Justin see the ball. Could push down to the end rail, block him with the 10, and then 2-rail kick at the 1. Up past the 9 and the 4, and hopefully the cue ball will stop and just try to play speed to back up table to the end rail.
Justin's elected to take the shot. I think he's going to take a drink now.
Yeah, it went straight in. I wonder if they got the first shot jitters. We're getting pretty far down in the tournament, I imagine, here.
Yeah, we are. I believe that these guys are guaranteed 9th through 12th at this point. And just let me bring up the brackets here.
50,000 added. Every match is big from here on out.
Yeah, these guys are guaranteed 9th through 12th place. I have updated the brackets online for folks. You can see the 13th through 16th finishers and the prize money. Same time.
Well, he's got ball in hand on the 1. If he gets good shape on the 2, gets through the 4 and 5, those are pretty much his trouble balls. He should be out. Is that what you see also?
Well, I'll tell you what I see is that if you don't get on the 4 right, the 9 can play havoc with you. But, you know, that 6, 7, 10, as long as you can get an angle on the 5 where you can slide over to them, you know, or just stop it, you're fine. It's just what you don't want to have to do is start to get over top of the 5 here. hope he's sliding up for the 4.
Yeah, looks like he's got the right angle. Got through that effortlessly. Perfect position.
Yeah, he did. He's a little bit down table with his angle, and he's up against the rail, but he should be all right.
Honestly, he could just roll this and shoot the 6, and the 7-10's pretty wired into the side if he wanted to go that route too.
Sure. Some guys like those combinations, and some guys don't. I know guys that'll do anything not to shoot a combination.
Right.
Because they must have, and I've seen these guys where they thought it was cheesy to play the combination.
They felt they wanted to earn the out.
And next thing you know, when the combination is the right shot, they don't know how to shoot it right because they weren't practicing it. Could be the right shot right now. I personally think I'd just get position in the corner. I'd spike this ball.
If it's wired, for me, if it's wired and it's just a stop shot to a stop shot, I'm
Sure.
going to take the combo. But the percentage has to be pretty high. Or I got to have a safe coming after it or something.
It looks like there's a little bit of a cut shot here, and it could be missed. So I would just
play the shape on the 7.
Play the shape.
That's what he did. You must announce these matches a lot because you seem to have it on cue what's going to happen.
Oh, he's got a good angle. It's not the angle that he wanted, but he's got a good playable angle. A little bit further, and this gets a little funky. But he can straighten this ball up or even elect to shoot to 9 in the lower right-hand corner pocket here, which he's done. He's actually a little bit straighter than what he wanted to be.
Might just try to pop it with center ball.
Nice follow stroke.
No.
Got it come. Wow. How'd he hit it, huh?
He hit it good.
And Brandon Shuff draws first blood here.
They're using the Delta racks, the Delta 13 racks.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice. Precision. I actually have one, but it makes a noise when you use them.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone got offended by that, so I called them up, and for $8, I got the leather insert, and you put the inserts in every corner, and it sounds like a wooden rack. It's unbelievable how much it muffles the sound.
That's awesome. Let's see. Brandon breaks the ball so well. And then pumping that arm. He doesn't use his body to break. He's using his arm to break. Five, 7 problems.
And he still gets a lot of power, keeps his body still. But the biggest key I noticed from these 10-ball breaks is they really keep their bridge hand planted on the ground when they follow through. That's how they get that solid pop out of it and control the cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, a lot of guys just try to put their body into it, they lose control of their bridge hand, get a little sloppy.
And that will move the tip's action or location on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You have that happen, and guess what you've done? You've missed.
Right.
You know, that's why you'll see some guys, some of the best breakers in the world, don't have their arms straight. they have it cocked to the side so that there's more play and they don't move
So
their bridge hand.
their arm can move, but their bridge hand stays in place. Yeah.
Right. That's one of the big tricks of breaking right there.
It's professional tips, pool tips you got going on there.
No, I don't know about that.
It's a hard one to figure out. It's hard for it's hard for me to figure that out.
It's definitely. There's only 2 times that I ever changed up the portion or the way that my front arm would be, and it would be on a jump shot, and that would allow me to get a better angle.
Mm-hmm.
And on the break shot, it would allow me to let my body move into the shot without moving my bridge hand off. Now it looks like Brandon's going to do 2 rails with the 5 ball.
Play it safe and just snooker him behind the 7 or the 8 there.
Yeah. Now, if he doesn't like the fact that the 5 won't get past the 8, he can just run into the back of the 7 and kind of cut the 5 up into the 8, and hopefully the 8 blocks the kicks coming off the left side rail here.
Right.
See which one he prefers. Okay, he went for the 2 railer.
2-way shot. I think he's going to make it here. No.
The problem is now he's left the world's easiest jump. I don't even think Justin's going to come to the table with his jump cue.
The world's easiest jump. With the technology nowadays, I would have to agree.
Yeah. You know.
But it's a unique rule, actually. I liked it in this tournament. You could only break down your cue twice during a match and use it for jumping. So I actually had that in my head. I was trying to think outside the box. So if I play a couple safes and I get the guy using his jump cue twice, it takes it out of play. And now if he's a poor kicker, I can use that to my advantage and win with 3 fouls.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think Justin elected to kick the ball, which was a good shot, obviously. To go back to your theory, maybe he thought that why use my jump cue in this place where
I can kick it in and
get position. Well, he almost came up and nicked the 6, which would have pushed the 6 into the 7-8. But he's definitely looking at this to be one of those places where he needs to play down a perfect safe. Oh, he's got the shot? Oh, what do I know?
He's got it.
He had the
shot.
shot.
7.
I didn't think he had it. I thought he had snookered himself. Didn't it look like he was behind a 9?
It's hard. It's really hard to see the angles exactly for what they are when you look at it on the computer.
Yeah, well, when we're commentating off a 20-inch monitor, I guess we should have it up on a 50-inch, make it life-size.
Sounds like a good goal for the future.
There we go. You got to have your dreams,
That's right. That's what it's about. I can't tell if the 9, does the 9 go by the 10, you think, JR?
The 9 will go by the 10. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze. He's going to look at it one more time. Show you that it did go by.
So he could just make it and stun it over a little bit.
Yeah. He could probably get a little bit of action with, a flat draw. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, he chose his
right in the side.
Right in the side pocket. He's out.
When you got touch like that, you don't need all those position techniques.
Justin's always said he's more of a shot maker.
Yeah.
He takes pride in it. He says, you got to get perfect position, Johnny. I'll just take the worst of it and make the shot and get out anyways.
It's those guys that have no fear of what position they get on the ball. That's a tough guy to play.
Right.
When he just possesses skills, for instance, a Dennis Hatch, who can just make any ball on the table, and he knows technique. Now, he can use the technique and keep it real, the load on his mind very, light, and then suddenly, when he gets the hard shot, he comes with it.
Right. Super aggressiveness.
Yeah.
It's almost a bad thing early on as a pool player, but you get to a point where you get so fine-tuned, you can be aggressive, and it dominates other players because they don't have that high gear.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. ProPool.com stats coming in. Justin Hall is batting a .750. And Brandon Shuff is shooting 1,000. Now it's early and those numbers will change. It only takes one or two mistakes, like a shot where Justin had scratched.
Now, how does that work exactly for people out there listening? Stats.
The stats, what it is it gauges your performance on every shot, success or fail. And there's different categories such as, hard shots, easy shots, break shots, fouls, safeties, things of that nature. And what happens is it's an easy form. You can see it right over there at propool.com. You just click on the buttons. You can bring it up on your iPhone, any phone. You can do it right at the computer. You just click away and keep track of the shots, and it'll give you your total performance.
So if someone's playing a safe and they execute it, you give them a point for a safe attempted and a safe executed.
Yeah, good safety, right.
That's pretty cool technology.
At the same time, you can you penalize people for their misses, errors, fouls.
Now, what about a kick shot? Say you're snookered, like there, he had to kick at the ball. He hit it. He made a good hit, but he didn't he didn't snooker him back.
Yeah, that's at this point here, I think that's a wash.
Okay.
He can't be, you can't say, oh, you made a horrible shot because you didn't kick this guy safe. He hit the ball, so he didn't make a mistake. It's kind of like a fielder's choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? He fielded the ball, but he had his choice on who to get out, and he chose to get the first runner. Well, here
but he made the play, succeeded, so
right.
he's still 1,000% basically.
Right. I've even, another analogy there would be if you make this great catch and you go to throw somebody out and you can't figure out who you want to get out. Well, there's no error.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't make a throwing error because you didn't make a throw, but you didn't make a fielding error because you caught the ball. So, at this point here, there's, that would probably be one more thing that they might be adding, but this system he has is so powerful, it's ridiculous. They actually have tournament brackets, anybody that's looking for tournament brackets, that are all automated. And you can download them from their site, and they'll run your tournament. And if you want to have your players rated, it'll rate them on their games won. And it puts them into a leaderboard. So that there's two ways to get rated in a way.
It's on PlayPool.
No, it's ProPool.
ProPool.com.
ProPool.com. The guy, Ron Hoffman, and his staff, they've been accumulating stats for 15 years. So you can see how you play against Buddy Hall, see how you play against Efren Reyes, where you match up with
Compare
him.
yourself a little bit.
Right. Well, there's a lot of gray areas. There's a lot of pool rooms out there in the country right now who has a tournament director and maybe 5 of his buddies that are playing in a tournament, and it's not exactly fair for the guy that walks in off the street. But,
right. And then you have conditions as well.
Well, what happens is somebody in Portland can go down to, Arizona and play in a tournament, and they kind of know how good he plays with them if he's in their system. What a great shot! Great shot. And
Brandon made an error there on the one ball. I don't know if we were talking. You saw that he missed the one, and Justin made a nice cut.
Sure did.
Looks like he gets another run. Another game on the scoreboard.
Exactly.
So it's 2-1 now, Justin? Is that right?
That's what it is now, yes. 2-1 in favor of Justin Hall. But the system that Ron Hoffman uses, you can use it in any, Monday, Tuesday night tournament type of deal. Run his brackets. It'll handicap your players. Well, it'll give you a rating. You can apply your own handicap, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually
that's a good tool to have if you're running tournaments.
Excellent tool. I mean, I don't think any pool room in the country should be doing handicapped events without it, because they get a third party, an unbiased party to come in and rate the players for them.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Shuff is shooting an 875, and Justin Hall is shooting an 889 on the
You're right about that.
stats.
The stats have changed.
Yeah.
Drastically.
You wait. Towards the end, they start to level out. You can run out and your points might move 6 points. You it really starts to gauge how well you played.
Looks like the 6 and the 7 are tied up.
Yeah, the 3 and 5 are no bargain either, are they?
No, it seems if you can get position. I mean, the 2's right there. If you could, the 3 goes in the side and the 5 goes in the side, but. He could play something risky here and try to follow it up. Just miss the 9 and then come behind it, break them open, but I don't know if I like that.
All right.
You hit the 9, you get snookered behind the 7.
Now he's going to scratch. No? He beat the scratch.
A little speed. I think this goes behind the 7 if he hits it right with real soft touch.
He hit rail first and came off, and that's a good shot. I think Justin has a chance to get him stuff this cue ball up underneath.
The 8 maybe?
The 8. He hit a little thick from what he was trying to do there. I used to try and put this ball on the 7. Now I bank this 2 all the way below the 10, and I would put it underneath the 8 or the 5. Come all the way across table.
Yeah, there's a lot of balls on that side of the table that get behind. I think that's a good play.
Yeah. That's a good shot.
I don't know if Justin even owns a jump cue. JR.
He might not. Looks like he's kicking this one. Oh, almost.
All he's really got to do is pocket this ball. And then
Bank the 3?
No, I think the 3 goes in the side. No problem. But then the 4-9, he's going to have to get a combo on the 4-9. Well, the 3 did go on the side.
It did go on the side. I might have killed that and just played the bank shot, to tell you the truth. I thought the bank shot was not that hard of a bank shot, to tell you the truth.
No, his cross sides are usually pretty wired.
And
it's hard to tell unless you're out there, though, really, how
Yeah.
much room you have between the side pocket.
And whether you feel right about it, you know.
I mean, really, here he's got to play a combo on the 4-9, and then he's got to play shape, you know, so he's got to figure out where the 4 is going after he makes the 9 ball.
I know, and the 6 is going to be a size of a softball after you make it, because the cue is going to probably go off the 4 and towards the 6 somehow. Or off the 9, I mean, and towards the 6.
Right.
He's really looking at this ball, will it go in? And honestly, wow. I don't like this at all. There's a way to get to this ball. It looks like he's going to pocket it here. Look at that. That ball rolled along the rim there, didn't it?
Yeah. What is the politically correct way to talk about the edges of the side pockets?
Points?
Points?
Points.
Side points?
Oh, you can say the points of the side pocket.
Okay. I think it hit the point of the side pocket.
Now, I actually would consider a combination on this because of
the way the cue ball will come out after he makes the 9 and the 4 ball rolling towards the corner.
Well, I think he's going to lay the 4 ball on the bottom rail, and if you have the angle that he has, you hit it with right-hand English. You know, keep the cue ball from really going on the bottom rail, get it above that 6 on its return.
Right.
And you probably shoot the 4 into the same pocket that you're shooting the 9, because it is going to be fairly thin hit on the cue. It's going to have more speed than the 4. Look at that, a little ticky.
Yeah, he did play a tick. I wasn't even thinking the tick shot. It's a billiard shot.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it until, you know, I said, well, the ticky's not on.
I like to call this a road map. Maybe the 9's a little tricky to
It's
get to the 10.
exactly. I mean, it's the only thing that doesn't make it a Tom Cruise out. Well,
I think when Tom Cruise got out, they changed the scene and then they moved the balls in position so it was easier for him, if I remember correctly.
I think they did that once or twice, but a lot of them it's like he was shoot and stop, and then he's shoot and stop, and he's going all over the table, but all he's doing is shooting 4 foot with a straight in shot.
Right.
Good old Mike Siegel.
I still love that movie. I don't care.
I love it. You know, it's got Keith McCready in it. How can you not like it?
Yeah. And Paul Newman was always one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Cool Hand Luke, the hustler.
It's actually been 25 years. Wow.
Since the Color of Money, 86.
Yeah. It was 25 years between the first one and the second one. Now it's going to be.
So it's time for a good pool movie.
It's
Not a
been-
B
it-
movie,
it's-
an
it's-
A plus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to say anything there.
So the score is 3-1. Justin's breaking. And it looks like Justin Hall's batting .923, and Brandon Shuff is batting .889. It's pretty close in numbers, but not in score. No. Sally Timko's her last name, right? Yeah. She's a nice person. Was he in the Color of Money? That's never good news. Wow. That was a tremendous shot.
Yeah, Keith McCready, Jimmy Mattia, Howard Vickery, Grady Matthews. They were all in the movie.
Yes. Yeah, I remember each scene, actually. Most of them guys. I remember Keith McCready's scene and Grady Matthews' scene. Of course, I can't forget that. Telling the stories, the road stories.
Drambuie and potato salad.
Yeah.
that's a classic movie. Tell you, the person that we haven't mentioned in this tournament is in honor of him is Steve Miserak. Steve Miserak was in that movie, and this is the Steve Miserak Championship.
Unique coincidence. Steve Miserak, from what I've heard, was just a tremendous player. He was a southpaw that was right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I always remembered that, and I heard he played really well. Really, really well.
Let's see if Brandon could just make the 9 and move the 7 down there. He doesn't want to make this ball, folks. Well,
That's unfortunate. He's just got to slice this in. Just try to make the cut. And I mean, it's natural shape if he makes it.
he might consider a safe. I mean, I never
Frozen
wanted
on the
to.
rail.
Sally T is asking about Southpaw, who's right-handed. Naturally a right-handed person, but played pool with his left hand.
Right.
On the back end of the cue.
Right. Look
Nice, but unfortunate. So see, that'd be an error. He'd get charged with an error there. That's an unforced error. And
I would have kind of tried to soft roll that ball.
yeah, I'm not knowing the exact angle, but I can tell you that I would be looking at soft rolling that ball and making a thin hit.
Right.
And, that way the cue ball naturally wants to stay out of the pocket then.
And
the
if
hair
you
left, and it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are you saying?
No, I agree. And then if you overcut it, the 8 ball might bounce out into the short rail a little bit, and the cue ball's down table.
Sure. And when you hit it soft, you want to overcut it anyhow because it has a tendency to drift in the direction that the cue ball is going, because as you hit it that slow, it actually does impart spin. The friction between the two balls imparts spin, and it'll drift down. Update on our ProPool.com stats from Nicole. Brandon Shuff is shooting an 862. Justin Hall, 926. Neither of the players seem to be really trying to master the mechanics of the rack right now. When I say the rack, I don't mean putting the balls in the rack. I'm saying trying to pick a ball out of the rack to make on the break. And they're this far along in the tournament, so maybe there's some merit to that. But a lot of the players are trying to get the second ball back, right behind the 1.
To go into the side pocket.
Go into the side pocket. Especially on this table. It has been tough. There has been nobody that's came up with the answer yet. So this table's actually proven to be a formidable foe for the players that we've been throwing on it.
That makes for a good pool, though, I think. A harder break and different spreads and different patterns. It's more exciting. You learn a little bit more if you're watching,
Sure.
instead of the same shots over and over again.
Exactly.
I remember Steve Miserak's part in the movie. It was the single elimination, 50,000 for first place, and he lost his first match. What did he say? I didn't deserve that.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Well, he must have said that line like 12 times.
Yeah.
And I believe out of all the players that were in the Color of Money, only Steve Miserak and Keith McCready had their SAG cards at the time. Screen Actors Guild.
Well,
He's got it.
Yeah, he broke him up and he's got a shot.
He's got a hit. That was an amazing attempt there, to tell you the truth. Well, not attempt, but just shot. Don't want to make it sound like he missed it or something.
Right.
He did get a shot on the 5.
Risky as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But what's
Well, tell you what, he's been letting his stroke out, running around the table, which, trust me, is very hard. I'd be surprised if he doesn't bank this 6 in the pocket. Nice shot. And he's recovering. Look at this out already. A breakout, a bank. And I mean, that shot that he made on the 5 to come down and get on the 6 to break them up. I know he was trying to come by them, but he broke them up. And then to met that bank. This is already a level 10 out.
that was
And
really
then to
his
shoot
key
that
shot,
shot
yeah.
right there. I tell you what, right now, you cannot convince Brandon Shuff that he's not going to win this set.
No, I mean, you never give up.
That's true, but yet some
Either one of
people
these,
do.
they do. Either one of these players is capable of putting packages together, freezing out the other player. Although
Did he miscue?
he had to have miscued.
That must have been a miscue, because I thought that he was going to shoot the 9 in and draw over, and he must have miscued and got the perfect hit.
Wow.
Look at where he put the 9. I don't think
They got safe.
that's where I'd want to put the 9.
I'm sure he's not happy about that, though.
No. I mean,
It's hard not to get frustrated with an error
let's take
like
a look.
that.
Yeah, look at his body posture. Hands on his hip, and Justin fires it right
Fires
in.
it in.
Oh, well, folks, short of a miscue, I think this is one of the most exciting racks of 10-ball I've seen in probably, I don't know, all season.
Has been really?
Yeah, this was
a good
this
rack.
is some exciting pool going on.
And it's not over.
No,
It's a long shot here.
he might miscue and bank it in. You never know.
Oh,
Well, look at this.
that.
He's going to have to bank the 10 in, and the 10's only an inch from the hole.
I think he can cut it.
I think he can cut it. All right. Well, as I say, the game went back to its rightful owner. A truly amazing turn of events there. He must have miscued.
I'm sure Justin's not happy with missing the 10, but at least he got a chance at the rack. He should have never been at the table.
Right.
The position of the 9 and the 10, and Brandon.
Well, he was given a gift, and he squandered it. Yeah. Really, he made the 9.
Yeah, he made a good shot, and he missed the 10.
Made this, and while Brandon was running out, if you'd have walked up to him and said, "Well, how would you like a shot at the 10 ball?" I guarantee you're going to get a shot at the 10 ball. He'd have loved it.
Right.
Cole was just giving us our ProPool.com stats update. Brandon Shuff is shooting an 895, and Justin Hall is coming in at 929. And he moved 8 balls on the other end of the table and didn't make one. And all he seems to have done right now is give Justin a really good out. 3's workable.
Everything seems to be wide open. Gets through the 3, 4, 5. Should be out no problem.
It's a little bit of a funky angle, but as long as he can beat the 6, just a nice soft roll. Come on, 6, stay out of the game. Good shot. I think you only had about another inch of roll there.
Yeah, that was touchy.
What were you saying?
Something about Justin's game. Actually, I picked up on it. When I was younger, I never really aimed. I just got down the shot and aimed on the shot. He always goes behind the ball in the point of the pocket. Kind of gives it a look, no matter how simple the shot is. Figures it out, and that goes a long way, I think, playing at top level.
Yeah, I always, towards the end of my career, I had a pre-shot routine that was just solid, 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 and I knew what I was doing. And I had played it so often that it was just, I was doing it without thinking about it. And one of the things you always do is you look your line into the hole, you get your spot. Whatever it is, your aiming trick for anybody that's out there listening, whether you're using ghost ball, whether you're using point on the ball, and then you line up behind it while in the air and you walk forward into it. And your success ratio, your percentage will just jump through the roof because you're doing something consistent and it's easy to judge. You're getting rid of a lot of variables. You see guys that spin when they come down on the shot, or they wiggle once they're down there.
Right. No, I agree 100%. And it's hard. I mean, it takes a while. It took me a long time to get that down. I had to learn from some of these guys, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But once you do, it definitely brings your success rate to a new plateau.
One guy that I noticed was doing it, Hunter Lombardo. His mechanics right now are so solid, it's just ridiculous. His pre-shot routine is actually something to behold. You can just see that he's playing the shots correctly, you know, and that he's lining up and using it. He's dead on the shot. And I believe he's coming up in our match right after this.
So his success rate is doing well.
Exactly, yeah. Well, he beat Earl Strickland. I had predicted that he was going to beat Earl Strickland 9-5, and he did beat him 9-5. I think I got lucky on that one. But don't ask me what the scores are going to be on any other match. But you could just see how solid he looks, and it's because of the way he lines up. The stick it's in a plane, and his arm's in a plane, and he just walks forward and drops. Well, update on the ProPool.com stats. Brennan's Shuff is still at 895, and Justin Hall has jumped up to 947. How you like that? 947.
It's pretty good statistics.
It's like he's from an alien from another planet. Doesn't he make mistakes or anything?
Not
he
often.
had to make one or two, I guess. Well, let's see if he's going to go for this 8 and a side, or whether he's going to get kicked out by the 3. 3 did kick him out. The 8 was going right in the side. And, of course, nobody gets a shot at the 1. Here you go, Brandon.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Have fun there, buddy.
He's probably going to – he can jump at it. He can roll out. The kick doesn't look too promising. The side pocket's in the way. So he'd have to, hold it or spin it with running English, one or the other.
I think I'm going to push out here.
Where to?
I'm going to push all the way to the bottom rail. I'm probably pushing that right-hand corner by the scorecards. I'm going to see if he wants to play this trick combination. 5 might play the blocker. You can make that 1-8. 5 might block the 1, or the 1 might come up and tie up with it. So it's a flyer, right? And at the same time, he tries to cut it back in his corner. He's going to have to deal with the cue going into that traffic. And I'd accept that shot because it's better than a kick shot. But I'd certainly make my opponent possibly swing at that too, depending on whether he gives him a handle. 9 foot and a handle is a pretty good safety a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pushing down to the corner there, and he gave him a handle. So here we go. Let's see what Justin decides.
He's up in the match. He's liable to just try to cut this in the corner and swing into the mess and see what happens.
I'm swinging, bro. I mean, you're going to let me make a ball and maybe get out and make it 6-2? Yeah, I'm going to swing.
Look at that. He made the 8,
Yeah,
left the 1 in the hole.
there was a lot of opportunity there. Do you try and make a ball on the break? Like, are you trying for a specific ball?
No.
Okay. You ever consider it?
Yeah, but right now, what I figured out some stuff when I was hitting. I mean, I hadn't played pool since the last tournament,
Right.
so that hurts a little bit. So I tried to get in stroke the day before I got here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second day I was getting into stroke, and then by the third day I felt really good. But then I got on the tight table, and it jarred me a little bit. But I just want to hit that. I really want to get a good follow through and hit that first ball square
Mm-hmm.
and keep my hand on the table. And I started hitting the break good, and I was making a ball on the side and whipping a ball in the corner, and then I had a ball coming around 3 rails into the top corner. So actually I'm trying to make a couple balls,
Right.
and then I'm hoping, you know, I can get a shot on the lowest number ball,
Right.
which is the one. Usually it comes back down towards the corner where Justin's at, and I get the cue ball to spin off the right long rail, and it comes down table too. So a lot of times I get a shot.
Sure. It's very crucial to hit the rack square in 10 ball. It's more crucial than it is in 9 ball. You can survive with a cut break in 9 ball. Cut break doesn't work in 10 ball. At least I've never seen it successfully
Not
executed.
high consistently. It doesn't work. No, it's tough. And that's what I'm working on really is trying to hit that ball square. And then really my timing and my body movement hitting the cue ball square, not getting too much topspin or draw because then it gets wild. You know, I'd
Uh,
rather sacrifice speed to get that solid hit.
well, something I was going to mention to you, you might even try it out because I was watching you break, is you might just try hitting a break like a really hard shot.
Right.
Try and absolutely stay still. Believe it or not, this 10 ball break, you don't need all that power. It's a lot of times you're fooled into thinking that extra ball and you need the power. You don't. They're spreading very nicely for you.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably just shoot it like it's a long stop shot that you got to, make some noise in the pocket with, and you'll be surprised. I think your game will jump. You'll get more shots after the break because you'll be in control.
Yeah, I should work on that. I definitely got to work on all sorts of things. you got
No, no,
you got to
not too many.
practice every day.
You play great pool. Trust me. I mean, you're a player.
I read something Mike Siegel wrote one time. It was the only thing I ever read of Mike Siegel's, but he said try to hit. No, I think Paul Newman might have quoted him, or it was um, Tom Cruise. But he said the one thing Mike Siegel told me was to break 3/4 as hard as you could, and that kind of opened my mind up as more of a steady, my tempo and my rhythm, and not trying to really pound them. So that's what when I really focus on it, I try to slow it down a little bit and just, you know,
What's so funny is I don't know whether anybody's ever racked up a set of balls, or you have ever racked up a set of balls maybe, and just tried to hit them soft. And I'll expand that a little bit further here in a minute. Brandon Shuff still shooting 895. Justin Hall at 958 on the ProPool.com stats. Now let's see, he's going for the 4 ball here. He's got to worry about the 2. See how he's off to the one side a little bit? He's trying to make that ball right behind the 1 in the side pocket, but he's got to beat this kiss. He didn't get the ball to go in the right line. He's got some action. Unfortunately, the most action is on the whitey there. Took a drink.
it's an unfortunate scratch for him. I mean, I know he wants to just keep it going, keep the momentum going, and get through the match.
Exactly. I think that's what he's trying to do right now.
Brandon's got a good chance right here. I mean, if he can get out this rack, put a good breakdown, and put 1 or 2 together, 6-5, he's right there. Puts the heat on Justin.
Brandon might have the wrong angle here. He sure does. I like to come in at that ball 2 rails and keeping an angle towards the 4. Here he's got to play a little bit funky. Is he going to hit the 7?
He got there.
He got there. Boy, he's moving his cue ball quite a bit in this match, isn't he?
Yeah, it happens. I mean, there's matches, you get one chance up here. There's matches where everything, you're on the professional side of every angle, and then there's matches where you just can't seem to put it together.
We all have them. We all have them. There's not even Efren Reyes. Days where it's just, it's not working, you know. But those days are very few for him. Might be one every decade.
Right. It's good statistics.
Yeah, the best way to get control of your break is to start by trying not to move anything. Shoot it like a real shot and shoot it like a stop shot. And see what happens to the cue and add a mile per hour. You know, break 5 or 6 times at one very medium speed and then add a mile per hour to it. And you'll see that you're making balls at those lower speeds. And you're keeping control, and it's still a shot. It's a pull shot. It's not a break shot at that point. And the amount of control that you can take out of it, you know, and put it into your game, and you know, with a higher speed, then. Oh no, he's not going to like this. He's all right.
That would be huge. I'd be a force to be reckoned with if I could make a ball and get shape every game. You know, you really start stringing them together.
It's you know, really, you know where the dead balls are in the rack. And when I say dead, the ones that you're trying to hit at different speeds at different angles and see which ones are most prone to go. You know what they are. You know, and it changes from table to table, rack to rack, you know, room to room a lot of times. But knowing the secret is that, oh,
that's a second miscue.
It's just a bad miscue. But that's an unforced error.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He's probably in a bad place mentally after 2 miscues, and, you know.
I would probably be doing something to my tip. I'd be, of course, in between racks. I wouldn't do it right now. Maybe we can get some help for the other matches here. See if we got any scores from the other matches in. We might send our production assistant out on an errand. Of course, by production assistant, I mean the unfortunate Alvin Nelson. Yeah, that's cool. There's only a couple of matches, I believe, going on right now, folks. But yeah, Alex and Stevie are matching up right now.
The super duper technical Alvin Nelson.
Well, this is turning into a landslide. A few unfortunate miscues from Brandon Shuff. And we're starting to see the handwriting on the wall. You still can't convince him that he's not going to win this set. That's good. He's mentally tough. Now he's working on his tip. Good man. Good man. Let your man shoot. Don't try and pull that shark.
That's right. That's good etiquette. That's important. We need more good etiquette in the game.
We do. Nicole's hitting us with our ProPool.com stats. Brandon has fell to an 870 after that unfortunate miscue. Meanwhile, Justin Hall, here he comes. 962. Youch. Wow. How good is he hitting him?
Pretty sporty.
Fair to middling, huh?
Jam up, jelly tight.
No shot on the one. He's got the balls took their places and he made 2 of them. Got any word on any scores?
It's 3-1 in favor of Santos.
Mm-hmm. 3-1 in favor of Santos.
He's probably going to try to just thin the one, kind of like a bank back towards the corner by him, and put the cue ball down below the 3 and the 9.
Excellent. Good shot. Good call. I think Alvin has one more score he's going to give us. Maybe not.
Brandon's taking his time looking at this, making sure he makes the right decision. What do you do here? Just try to thin the one and hopefully leave him long again. That's a tough shot to really thin that one and leave it down there.
Yeah, you're going to end up hitting a third diamond if you just try and nip it, and the 9-3 are too big on the other side. I honestly think I would try and put this one ball back up through the 6-3 just to see what I can get.
Okay. I didn't know if he could see how much he could see of it.
I just didn't like this pattern either. Both sides coming off that one both ways. There just wasn't a lot of hope. You know, I could see maybe if he hit the other one, he could get in behind the 3-9, but it wasn't really good.
It's a tough spot to be in either way.
Sure. Strategically, I guess it makes more sense to leave the one away from the pack of balls, so there's no return coming at you where the guy has an easier safety.
Well off on his speed there, but he made the shot. He's up in the match. He'll probably just try to bank this cross corner. I could see him doing that. Getting a shot on the 3 and running out.
Yeah, I actually think he can. I like the line that it's going to take if he just hits it with a medium stroke center ball.
If he misses it long, he could end up safe.
Sure, he can go behind the 3 if he misses it.
He made it.
He
He doesn't
did.
have to like this shot.
Not at all. Well, he's looking at cutting this in the side, and I like that shot a lot. This is one of my, old road shots, is cutting these balls in the side. You get them, they might get you out of that, if you're playing straight pool, a long run. He's actually getting sharked by the scorecard back there, I think.
So now what does he do? You think he goes around 1, 2, 3 rails into the other side of the 4?
Run it right back to the center of the table.
Or went right off the 9 ball?
Right off the 9. He even got to hit it thicker than what I thought he was going to hit it.
Still trouble though. The 9's in the way of the 5. He's got to make sure his speed's right here and get the shot on the 5s.
He can slide this. He doesn't even have to follow it. He can just slide it out, towards the 6 ball about 6 or 8 inches. He should be fine. Oh, I don't know about that. I thought he could hit that ball more square. Didn't
Yeah,
it
it was a
look
little angle. It's a touchy.
Yeah.
He might have if he would have played the pocket a little bit better. Played the outside of the pocket.
Cross over the bank or just stop it and go up into the 9. Bank the 5-3 rails.
He just went for a safe. It's a good
Yeah.
save.
Bank the 5-4 rails, 3 rails. Same idea. I just
Yeah,
thought he was
exactly
going
what
to
you
take the
said, right.
He just said, I'm just going to stop it. I don't even have to move the cue. It'll be fine.
Brandon wants he can use a jump cue now because he hasn't used it the whole match.
Not at all. Remember that first game we were talking about that. How you preserve that chip. You need 2 of those.
Right. Strategy.
Sure. Take a second to thank all of our moderators out there in the chat. Corner Market Bob, Upstate Al, and of course Sally T. And to thank everybody that's shown up. Everybody that's watching the stream, you're making this tournament possible. Let's take a look at Brandon Shuff's jump shot offering
A
here.
big thank you from all the players as well.
Excellent. Wow,
We almost made
he
that.
almost made that. Usually that cue ball likes to find a hole and scratch as soon as you don't make the ball by an inch, you know what I mean? That was a pretty good shot. Funky looking jump cue.
Yeah, it looked like an ash wood or
Like
dark
diamond wood
wood.
or something, the poly-impregnated wood that they have, and some type of black ferrule that probably was most likely micarta or phenolic linen.
Can we see the other angle on this shot here? Okay, yeah, he could follow the ball. He might even hold it to the rail and bring it back out to the middle of the table. This isn't an easy shot, though. You got to put a good stroke on this to get on the 6 ball.
You gotta, I can see following this ball, but I like taking it to the side rail just like that.
Right, right. The natural angle, I meant.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get a keyhole here. I think he can make the 6 ball still. Obviously on the wrong side of the 9 that he wanted to be on, but
he can thin it and make the
can
shot.
thin it. And just an update on the score, we're looking at 7-2. So he wants to get to Hill.
Doesn't look like maybe he's going for the. It's so hard to see from here on the smaller screen how he's lining up sometimes. It's an unfortunate miss.
Well,
it's a thin cut.
It's an unforced error. I mean, it's something where he had put the cue ball there, and he played the shot and he missed it. So,
sure, Brandon's happy to get a hold of this rack.
Yeah, he did. Justin's on fire, and everything that Justin is doing is turning to gold. And Brandon's already miscued twice and cost himself games. And in his mind, he's thinking it should be 5-4, not 7-2.
Right.
Or 7-3 at least. He's going to go ahead and take a break. We'll take a chance here to thank some of our sponsors who make this tour possible. Now, this is a $50,000 Steve Miserak Challenge or Championship, and it's the crown jewel of the Seminole Pro Tour. And the Seminole Pro Tour has been produced by Seminole Media Productions. They'd like to thank our sponsors, which are Grand Touring Vodka. Great vodka. If you're not carrying it at your pool room, they really support pool. They make this tour possible. Get your pool room to carry it. It's great vodka. Universal Pool League, Kamui Tips, Milliken Super Pro Cloth. You're seeing that right on the table here in front of you. Fury Cues, Hustlin' USA Clothing, Delta 13, Tonkin Custom Cues, Pool Dog, and last but not least, ProPool.com. And speaking of which, our assistant Nicole from ProPool.com, Brandon Shuff is shooting 878, and Justin Hall is shooting 966. My Lord, 966. I've been watching these matches for a long time. It really is tough to shoot above 925.
And he's playing pretty well.
He's playing pretty well.
He is, as we see.
Granted, he had 2 fairly easy games given to him were from miscues, but at the same time, I think he lost one of those games, even though the miscue happened.
Right, he did.
He missed the
10 ball.
And it's one of the few shots that he's missed.
You still have to take advantage of the games when they're given to you, though.
Yeah. Well, he's going in the bathroom right now and splashing some water on his face and, talking some sense to himself. He wants to come out and turn this into a new match. 7-3 with him breaking. He can make one error and get still win this set. And that takes a little bit of the pressure off. It's a lot better than not knowing that you have to win every game from here to win this set.
Right.
I mean, it's not impossible, of course, but boy, I'll tell you, highly improbable when you get a guy who's playing 966 pool.
You just got to keep him from. You got to keep him from shooting. Period. He's got to put it on him right now. I'm sure you've seen it happen before. People coming back from big deficits, 7-3.
Oh yeah, we've all done it. We've all had it done to us, right? It happens. Probably the most notorious comeback artist that I know is Earl Strickland. I don't know how many times in the 80s and 90s the local guy would have Earl 10-4, 10-5, and you'd see that guy just floating around and everybody going, yeah, yeah, you're going to win, you're going to beat Earl. There'd be 400 people in the stands cheering that guy on. Earl would jump up and put a 5 or a 6-pack on the guy after the guy broke or he made one little simple kick air or something. And next thing you know, it's 10-10 and Earl breaks and runs out. Or the guy chokes or whatever. And I'd seen it so many times, but it was the same story, different city. Earl comes back, plays like he's from another planet. And, it's like a totally different guy. First, 13 games he can't make a ball. The next 7 he can't miss, and everything's perfect.
Right.
And that's what Brandon Shuff needs right now. Of course, he can't, go berserk or anything. He just has to play full.
One ball at a time, just stay steady. Next thing you know, it'd be 3 or 4 racks up from 3 games. I mean, that's how it goes, really. Just got to stay calm and focused, not think about the score.
Right.
I actually think Justin got Earl that way. He was stuck 8-1 in a race to 9 or race to 11 in one of the tournaments, and he came back and won. It was one of his big first victories for him.
That's amazing.
He called me and told me about it.
That's awesome. You see Brandon waiting for Justin to come back. It was his prerogative. He could have shot. See if he can get this 4 ball to go on the side. Missed the kiss with the 3. It did. He missed it.
10 ball stopped him from scratching there.
Yeah.
He had a lot of follow on that one.
Yeah, he did. He missed the break pretty good. Wasn't exactly his best break.
Similar to the shot he missed before on the 10 ball. I don't know, do you think he's just going to roll it in and try to make it?
I don't think that was all the plan there.
Turned out good for him.
Turned out okay, didn't it? It looked like a really good safety play, but I don't think that's what he was playing.
I'm going to 3-rail bank it into the points and follow the ball behind the 5. Say like an earthquake.
Yeah.
Just got the jump cue out again.
Well, he's going to use it for the second try. You think he's trying to play the 10? I don't think so.
I think he
he's
will.
Playing.
I think he'll hit the right side of the 1. He can shoot. He could hit the 8, make the 3. He can accidentally make the 10.
I like that shot. I like it. I mean, the cue ball is going to go for a ride unless he can get it back down to the ground.
Right.
I'd actually be looking at hitting this as high in the air as I could, you know what I mean, so that it has more of a higher arc than a longer arc.
And just hitting solid on the 1, or do you like going for the right side of the 1?
I'll go for the right side of the 1. I like your shot. I like it a lot. You didn't see that shot?
What, that's obviously the only way to play that one.
I can't believe you guys didn't see that shot.
Now we're getting heckled by our stats. I think it's time to put her under the mic. What do you
The stats management.
think? Well, for my next trick,
Yeah, he snookered. Is he snookered?
no, the
okay.
two's up against the rail. It's just a really dark 4-ball. We had a situation several weeks ago when we were in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the 4-ball was so dark that the player kept shooting
The 2?
the 5 with the 4 still on the table, swearing that it was the 8, and then he'd go,
Oh.
and we ended up, we just changed the 4-ball out or got a new rack at one point because players were just kept shooting the 5-ball and when the 4 was still on the table. Good look at them down the line.
So this happened more than once, you're telling me?
It happened 5 or 6 times in the same tournament. So, you know, we've got a lot of light out there.
Well, he comboed into the 3 and came out perfect in front of the side pocket.
I don't know perfect, but I think it's near the side pocket.
Near enough to make it. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Pool
there you
player's
go.
book. After that shot.
All we got to do is nick it.
Four must go by the 8. Or 6, is that the 6?
Yeah, the 4 goes by the 6.
Yeah, he should be out here.
Yeah, 7 to the 8 is probably his toughest shot.
Right. I do agree.
You concur, Dr. DeMint?
I concur. Do you concur?
I concur.
Well, good.
We're all concurred.
What is that from? Catch Me If You Can?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
So what-
He travels the country as a check fraud expert.
Right. That was Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. It's a good one.
That was a good one.
Speed here, as long if he can get on the, the right side of the 9-ball, it's really easy to get to the 10, so he doesn't have to
sure.
travel as far.
He just wants to be right up by the side pocket height. He hit that nice.
Oh,
He even hit it thick.
he hit it thick, yeah.
I think, had he hit it as thin as he wanted, he'd have been perfectly in position. But, woo.
He'll probably play this just hard top spin, maybe just a hint of right, and it'll come 2 rails down to the short rail.
He can even hit it with left if he wants.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to get interesting, folks. Well, what do you see?
Slice it into the corner. You're not going to scratch, just make the ball. It's a big pocket.
I see that scratch in the same pocket.
Yeah. Hint the right, you're okay. Or that.
Pack up the kids, we're going for a ride.
I think I actually play that cut shot with a little draw.
Do you?
Yeah, and I make sure I get it there, but enough to where it massays a little bit before it gets to the end rail, but it makes it down to the end rail.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more controlled,
Sure. I believe it. I don't like hitting it with high Q and just doing what he did because
Just letting it go.
there's just too many pockets on the table
Right.
once you start doing that shot, right? Update on our ProPool.com stats after 11 games. Brandon Shuff shooting 880 and Justin Hall is at 971.
That was a terrific break there. To
Parked
finish that.
Whitey.
I mean,
Does he get the 2? Sure
he's
did.
got the 2.
He's got the 2 and he's got a pretty darn solid out.
5 to the 6 looks like the only tough shot on the table. 2 to the 3 and 5 to the 6.
Yeah, well, you want to make sure you're on the right side of the 3. They can get funky if you're got an angle into that 310. Good shot. Good shot.
Just probably draw it back about 6 or 8 inches and keep a nice angle on the 5.
I'd float it over. I'd leave more of a cut shot on the 5, get it on the rail for the 6, because you can just stop the 6 and you got natural position for the 7 in the side.
Well, he hit that a little hard.
Yeah, I did.
But he's perfect because he's just going to follow it up with some top and right.
Yep.
Come natural.
Take spin. Hurry, you albino fool.
Think he'll play the shot, the 10 ball on the side? Or do you think he'll come around for the corner?
I would play it in the side. Real good chance I'd be on getting on this ball.
Were you a straight pool player at all?
Yeah, I played straight pool. I think, and now I see that the 9's on the top side. I zigzag this. I go to the bottom rail, and I use a thin hit on the 9, come off the side rail, go past the 10, and then go back out. And usually you're about in the center of the table, where that cue ball is right now.
This can get, it can get so tricky. There's so many ways to play the shot.
As long as he has the right one.
Yeah.
Right.
He'll probably play it inside from here.
This one I would. If I couldn't get all the way on the bottom, I'd go ahead and just cut it and go right at it. And go through the rack area. That way, if you go too far, then you can shoot the nut 10 up in the corner. El Perfecto.
Looks like Justin won with a score of 9-3, and AccuStats percentage probably over .98.
ProPool.com percentage.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
ProPool.com percentage.
Just lost our sponsor there, buddy. Way to go. Good to have you. Let's come
Well,
take you back for
they can blame it on me.
No, just kidding. You guys are great. Hey, Jonathan, I want to thank you for showing up and hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure. Good talking.
Excellent.
All right, thank you.
And we wanted to thank all of our sponsors, of course, Grand Touring Vodka, Universal Pool League, Kamui Tips, Milliken Super Pro, Cloth, Fury Custom Cues, Hustlin' USA Clothing, Delta 13 Tonkin Custom Cues, Pool Dog, and last but not least, ProPool.com on behalf of the Seminole Pro Tour, Seminole Media Productions. I'm JR with Inside Pool. Thanks again. We'll see everybody here in about 13 minutes. And again, thanks for all of our chatters and all the moderators, Corner Market Bob and Upstate Al. Good night, folks. See you in 13 minutes.